Hola YouTube and welcome back to my channel. I am your girl Beauty by Lenoria across all my social media platforms. If you would, please go ahead and thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course get a conversation started with me in the comment section below. But as you guys have already guessed it, we're here to go ahead and try out this new product from Urban Decay, their new foundation, their Stay Naked Hydromanic Tinted Glow Hydrator. I did go ahead and get mine in the shade 60 Medium Dark. So if you're ready to see how this plays and how this comes across and how well it works, any of the problems and issues or drawbacks that I may have had with the actual application of the actual product, you guys already know what to do. Let's just keep watching. You might be the one taking me home. One thing really lead to one. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and test out the Urban Decay. This is their Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. And I did go ahead and get mine in the shade 60 Medium Dark. So it does come with like an actual squeeze tube type application, which I could take it or leave it when it comes to squeeze tubes. Pumps and squeeze tubes, they're fine. The Dofer inserts, they're fine, and different things like that. We're going to go ahead and test it out, and we're going to go ahead and see how it actually works on my actual skin. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with one of my newest favorite primers, and it's the Dior Backstage Primer. I love this primer. When I first went ahead and tried it, when we were doing the full face of samples from Sephora, if I'd have known that this primer was this good, man. I did go ahead and buy a big one, but you know, until I'm finished with this little sample size, I'm going to continue to use all of this. This primer is amazing. Like just the stick and everything that it has and the way it just really makes my skin look. Ooh, child, I love this primer. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this primer and allow this primer to go ahead and blend out and work itself into my skin. Now, this isn't a matte foundation or anything like that. It's a glowy foundation. Medium coverage pretty much for the most part. Everything that I was looking at online, I ordered it the day it first came out. I was hoping that it was going to be available here locally at the Sephora's in Atlanta, but it's not in store. So I just went ahead and ordered it online. I love that Dior primer. It smells so good. If you're not into smells, then you probably might not like that one, but it smells so good. And it makes the skin look so blurring, smooth, and soft. Absolutely love it. But with this actual foundation, I want to go in and apply it with a brush that gives me a little bit of density when applying. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Anise brush and the Pinnacle foundation brush with it. And as far as spraying and wetting my brushes, I'm also go ahead and use the Urban Decay All Nighter, since this is what I'm going to go ahead and set my face with as well. So let's go ahead and sit down. Okay. That's the first time I ever had that do that. That's weird. But anyway, you guys know I always spray and wet my brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. Because it is the winter time, I don't like a whole lot of completely matte down with my actual face. So we're going to go ahead and try it and see exactly how it goes. It's golden. I do have acne scars and different things like that. So we're not even going to... That's what it looks like on my skin. The one shade that was down below this was going to be just a smidget too dark. I may go back and get the shade that's one shade darker than this, just depending on how this works. But this is what it looks like. And you like, Lynn? Oh, okay. So let's go in and start blending and just see. And you can see, like, Lynn, what's going on, what's happening. Stay with it, because when I had first got it, I did go ahead and just do a swatch of it on my face just to see, you know, how it would look and how it would work. Because I just really wanted to see if this would work for me, if this is something I was going to take back. So I was just doing just a color test to even see if I had got the right color. If I like it, do I need to go get like one shade darker than this to really be able to go in here? And you guys can see with the amount that I put on, how far it's going with my actual face and coverage. So, not mad at it. So let's just go ahead and do one part of my actual face. And you can see how it goes in, and it's a perfect match as it starts to blend into my actual neck. But on my actual face is looking a little off from that. But what I did notice is that it did oxidize down just a little bit. But from my actual neck, you guys can see when you blend that in, it's a perfect match. But, you know, I wanted to come on here with you guys before I actually tried to take it back to even try to see, you know, do I need to get a different shade? Do I need to get a different color? Will it work for me? It's not going to be necessarily a full coverage because you can still see some of my acne scars and different things coming through. But for me, that's fine. I don't need my skin completely blanked out unless I'm doing an event or something. So this is what the shade 60, yeah, 60 medium dark looks like with this 24-hour hydration product. So I do like the radiance that it gives to my actual skin. I really do like that. So this is the no foundation. And you guys can see my hyperpigmentation from my acne that is clearing up. And then this is what it is with the actual foundation itself. I need to blend that into these edges, so I don't have a weird mark of demarcation there. But yeah. And I'm going to put this little dot right here on my chest, so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about when I say it blends right into my skin tone. Because like when you actually look at it there on my actual skin tone with me blending it out, you're starting to see that it's just... the undertone is a little off. It matches perfectly up here on my neck, but I do have a lot of olive and peach and neutral undertones throughout my body. So I'm more peachy olive in certain places and I'm more olive neutral in other places. So you can see right here with the foundation and everything coming across my neck, perfect match, seamless. You can't even tell a difference. Right here on my chest, you can start to see, because I have peachy olive neutral undertones, it's pulling more peach right here on my actual chest. So we'll keep going, because you notice that when I first put it on, it was a completely different shade to say. I won't put on quite as much as I squeeze in just as much. But you can see the color that it comes out of the actual tube and how it has oxidized down just a little bit. So it pretty much oxidized into my shade that I need it to be. So let's go ahead and blend it out. And you guys can see better what I'm talking about. See how as I'm starting to blend it out here, you see how it's like more golden, peachy a little bit. And then as it dries down, it becomes more coffee peachy a little bit. I like it. Can't complain. The shade would only work for me right now since I am still within my actual winter complexion. I would have to go ahead and get the shade that's one shade darker than this to actually be able to wear this in the actual summertime. You know, I'm hopeful that this year here in America, we can actually have, you know, I'm not expecting a normal summer, but I am expecting, you know, us to, you know, be able to get some type of sun. But maybe, maybe not. Depends on, you know, how the Biden administration roll out this whole little vaccine thing and, you know, if people take it or not. And if we can actually start to wear our masks and do our part. Hopefully, we can have not a normal summer. I think we all know that at this point here in America. we aren't getting back to normal, nowhere near normal to possibly 2022. So yeah. But hopefully if we can get to start wearing our masks and doing different things like that, maybe this can work out a little bit better for us. And I could go get like some type of sun. Right now on my face, what you actually see is coming across a little bit oranger. But real life in person is not quite that warm. And even on my chest, you can start to see where the original color was from something that dropped off my face to how it oxidized down. So if you're my shade, then this will probably work for you. Or if you have similar undertones to me, then this will probably work for you. And I'm pretty happy with the actual coverage. Let's go ahead and put some foundation up in this hair so it matches. And I'm not getting a weird line of demarcation. I'm noticing something because you can see it there with that little drop. Let's see if, see when you turn it down, you can see it even better. You can see where it's a little bit more orange and peachy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off right here. And what I'm doing, I'm looking at my skin close up just to see, is there anything weird that's happening? I like the dewiness of it. If you don't have oily skin, if you have dry skin, this is something you won't have to set. Because I don't know if it's because of the actual primer that I use or the fact that I do facials before I actually start to do my makeup. But the way it's sitting on my skin, I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you guys can actually see what I'm seeing. But this is the way that it's sitting on my skin. And what I was looking at is how it's actually blending into my actual hair with all the different, hair and stuff that I have around my actual edges. That was something that I wanted to actually look at just to make sure it's not doing anything weird. Now, I always shave my face and different things like that. But what I'm looking at is, it looks like skin. I'm not looking to cover up any of my acne scars because it makes the foundation look more realistic to a certain degree. But I just wanted to bring you guys in closer so you can actually see what I'm seeing. And even if I turn the lights back up, hold on. Even if I turn the lights back up better so you can actually see. I don't ever want you guys this close into my pores ever again in life. But, this little cracking that's happening right here around my nose, right here, where the product has settled, that happens a lot to me with different foundations. So I don't mark a foundation off if it does that, because that happens to me a lot of times. What I'm looking at up close is, one, I need to shave my face. I'm gonna bring y'all in super close. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it's doing this little weird shingling thing with my skin. One, I need to go ahead and shave my face again because you can see all of my little hairs that are coming down. I normally shave and get rid of those, so pay no attention to that. But it's doing this really weird thing with my actual forehead. It's pretty. And it keeps pooling right there underneath my actual nose, but it's not pooling on the sides of my nose. So I'm not having any problems there. Okay. I had an itch. Oh, Jesus. And going in with the itch, it completely removed all of the foundation. but it's something that you could fix pretty easily. It's, I don't know. I'm trying to look at it and just trying to really get a feel for it, just to really even see how I feel about it. I'm gonna go in and contour my face down a little bit and just see how contouring my face down works. I'm gonna go in and see if maybe I just need something else on my face to help it along. I'm using the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. And this is in Deep 34. I'm using the sample that I had. For concealer, I'm going to go ahead and use the Maybelline Master Conceal. And this is in the shade 40 Neutral. 40 Medium Neutral. And I'm just going to go in here with not a lot. So far, I'm liking the way other products play with it. You know how sometimes when you're doing your makeup, how sometimes when you go in to apply your other products, how they don't necessarily play well together or something weird starts to happen. I can definitely appreciate this. See, now we're starting to look more neutral, starting to come back together, but we still have to go in here and set it. So we're going to see how it sets down and if it starts to do anything weird in the actual setting process. So far, this is what we're looking like. So let's go ahead and set everything down. I'm going to set everything down with the exact same product. I'm going to use my Too Faced Peach Perfect because this will let me know if the foundation really does play well with other products. When you go in to actually set your makeup down, exactly what happens or how it plays. So the first set is just a really thin layer of setting powder that I'll use just to keep it from moving around. Not anything too heavy or thick, but this is just to keep stuff from moving around. And you can already see how it smooths and blurs the skin out. That's really pretty. Now, the foundation did kind of go on funny at first, but the more it sat and melted into my skin, the prettier it looked. Now, that real smoothness that you see with my actual skin right there with my cheeks, that does have a lot to do with the actual setting powder. But I want to keep going to make sure I don't get anything weird happening while I'm going in and setting my face. And again, I'm going to use this to set my entire face down. And I'll go in with a really light layer at first, just to get it to not move around on me. Oh, but you guys can see exactly how smooth it is from right there on my face to right there. And just going across it and just tapping over it. Am I getting anything that's changing or looking different? And even though I have oily skin, you can still see a sheen and a glow coming through with the actual foundation. And of course, I am doing a really light set. I'll go back in with a heavier set just to make sure everything is setting down correctly. Okay, so even with the face still being completely set down, you can still see that it does have just a little, see the sheen right there? It still does have a little bit of sheen, so it does look more like actual skin. I'm just going to go in here and tap over some of my areas that I contoured to add just a little bit of bronzer to it. And this is the Super Stay Full Coverage Complete 16-Hour Powder Foundation in Truffle. And I'm just going to use a Juvia's Place J123. This is a tapered blush brush. But it's also a tulip brush that works perfectly well for going in and just bronzing and adding color back to the actual skin. That's what I use it for. That's what I love it for. To be able to just go in and just add color back to my face. And I'll also go ahead and use the exact same brush to add some blush to my face. Being careful, I'm going to put just a little bit of the actual purple blush on my actual face. So getting the blush on, and right here on my upper cheeks, I definitely want to go ahead and lighten that a little bit. Other side of the brush with nothing on it. Just dipping into the light little bubblegum pink. Just to flush that back a little prettier. Since it's out in front of me, I'm going to go ahead and use the Beauty Bakery. This is a mini So Icy Illuminator. I'm just going to swirl into this and tap into this. And I'm just going to put this on pretty loosely over my face. I'm going to use a Luxie 512 small contour brush to do this. So let's go ahead and spray this face down a little bit with the actual... Finishing off with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade Gel. Just going into the eyes. For my lips real quick, I'm going into the Huda Beauty samples. And I'm going to go ahead and throw on with this look. Which one makes more sense? I'm going to try Bonnie. This shade right here. With this particular look. Let's just see how this plays itself out. Oh. It's a deeper shade than what I thought it was going to be. That's a really pretty soft color. It's almost coming off kind of like a blotted lip a little bit. That's pretty. So, let's throw in the lashes. Because I'm sitting up here looking at it and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking. And I have some ideas, I have some thoughts, but again, I'm sitting up here, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking. Sometimes you can't really judge a look, unfortunately, until everything comes together with the actual look. And actually look at the skin and the actual foundation and just everything, just to even see just how it plays together, how it works together, what might be happening or what might be going on. Sometimes you can't really get the full picture until you kind of get the full picture. So that's the reason why I'm doing everything like how I would normally do my makeup with this product. Just to really try to get a glance at, will this product work for me and my routine and my lifestyle? Okay, so just to go in and give you guys another close-up look of my actual face. What the heck is going on my nose right there? My nose always does that. I just had to make sure it wasn't anything on my nose. Pay no attention to that part of my nose. My nose always does that. It just, whatever. But this... obviously you could tell in the tube it's going to be coming across different from what it does on my actual face. But like I was telling you guys, this definitely did oxidize down a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Not even a full half shade. It oxidized down about, instead of it being a full half shade darker, it was probably like 0.30% darker. So not a full half shade, but I hope that makes sense as far as when you guys are trying to actually get the foundation, trying to match yourself, or if you're thinking you need two to mix to actually get your foundation color. I will say that the longer I wore it, because at this point, I'm sitting up here looking at it, just trying to, I'm trying to show it to you guys. And like I said, this right here, pay no attention to that because my nose always does that. I'm just over here just looking at it, just trying to, even looking like real close in the mirror. It's really, really pretty. Let's go ahead and say that. It's not going to be a full coverage type of foundation. You will want to go ahead and color correct just a little bit if you have problems or issues. Me, I didn't color correct. You guys already saw that because I like for a little bit of my natural skin to peek through on everyday type makeup. Event makeup, wedding, prom, anything like that. Oh, honey child, no, we finna completely matte out skin. This won't work. But right now in the wintertime here in Atlanta, I'm not even getting any shine breaking through, any problems with my actual skin. And it still just looks like healthy, glowing skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about the actual foundation. So in reference to the actual foundation, it's a healthy glow. I use all matte products. I did, as you guys saw, I did go ahead and put the highlighter down my actual nose and a little bit across my cheeks, but I used like just a little bit. Like I just barely tapped into my Beauty Bakery So Icy Miniature Mini Illuminator. So I didn't even go ham like I normally do with highlighter, even though I really wanted to. But yeah, it gives like a really healthy glow, so I can't be mad at it. And everything as I'm looking at my face is just like skin, because you can see the natural healthy glow down here. So it's skin. Now in the summertime, would this work for me being an oily girl? Probably not. But in the wintertime for right now, with everything being the way it is, I ain't really getting out the house, can't go nowhere anyway, and I'm not seeing it actually settling into any lines, making any type of weird things. Even with my yeah, even with my smile lines, it's not doing anything weird. I'll do that just to see if stuff is starting to settle into my smile lines and things. At this point, I've had this foundation on for about 2.5 hours, and for me to be oily skin, I would have already have had to blotted by now if it wasn't a pretty decent foundation, or if I didn't use decent setting powders or different setting sprays. So for me, using the products that I actually use, setting it with the Peach Perfect by Too Faced, and then setting it down with the Urban Decay All Nighter, yeah, I'm not having any problems. That beautiful healthy glow, I like that. Okay, insert future lens. Pay no attention to everything else. I started editing the video, and I went and laid down, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go, you know, just rest my eyes for a little bit, you know, in the bed. Next thing I know, knocked out sleep. Anyway, so I put on the Urban Decay Hydromaniac foundation around, I want to say probably like around 1-2 p.m. yesterday, and it is now 6 a.m. in the morning. And that weird thing that I was telling y'all about with my actual forehead, yeah, no. One, it just transfers everywhere, all over the place. And I wasn't expecting it to do anything with my actual oily skin, but this was ridiculous. The amount of oil and different things that kept coming through was ridiculous. I don't have time to keep blotting myself like that. And after I would blot with a napkin or a paper towel, something like that, the foundation would go back to looking pretty, but it looked pretty here along my cheeks and face and nose and chin, but it looked dry along my actual forehead. And it just aged me because it gave me these like weird wrinkle line things right here that I've never had or never seen with any other foundation that I don't even truly have. So I'm just like, it's a no for me. The foundation is going back. No. Child, this is not gonna stay in place underneath a mask or anything like that. So, even with heavy setting, I still can't see this staying in place because I can actually feel this foundation on my skin. And although it is really, really pretty, you can definitely tell I'm wearing foundation. Like when you look at me and you look at my skin, it's pretty, but you can definitely tell I'm wearing foundation. You know, if that makes any sense. So hopefully that kind of give you guys a guide. You know, hey, it does oxidize. Hey, it is a very movable product. If you have dry skin, I would definitely tell you to go ahead and prep your skin with a heavy moisturizer and use a moisturizing primer with it. Oily skin girls, you do need to set this. This is a very movable product. But my devil in the details is because I'm an oily girl, I have to be careful with these products because from time to time, they can be too glowy, too dewy, and I turn out looking like a hot fried chicken, greasy hot mess. And no, we don't have time for that. I like it. So leave me any questions or comments. If you guys have any questions or anything else further, just leave it for me in the comment section below, and I'll definitely go ahead and respond to that. But as always, YouTube, you guys know how much I love you. I'm so happy that you came back and spent some time with your girl. I don't care if it's in the morning, afternoon, evening, or late at night. I'm just happy to be back chilling with you. And as always, until next time in the next video. Thank you, YouTube.